V-Snack.
Hi guys, welcome to another V-Snack. This one is all about working from home. Now, I'm actually set up in our offices, but as per most of you, we were definitely quarantined at home and had to set up a workspace. And I've heard a lot of people complain about aches and pains and new things that have kind of arisen. And my thought was immediately that, we're in new circumstances, we're in new office space, which is at your home. And we're not thinking about setting up our work from home spaces as much as we did our actual office spaces. So I used a lot of the ergonomics things that I had learned as a group fitness instructor and as just a health nut in general. And I applied that to how I set up at home. And I brought a lot of that stuff here today so I can show you how I set up my work from home space. So the first and most important thing for me as somebody who experiences back pain a lot is my posture. So I immediately thought about things like the seat that I'm on. So you can see I've got a little wobble chair here. It helps me engage my core. You don't have to invest in something like this, but for the most part, just think about sitting up straight and making sure that the screens in your room are aligned with your eyes. So we don't want to be working like this. We don't want to be lying back on our couches working like this, but we also don't want to be hunched over. So try and find a space where you've got a natural stance with your arms. You can look straight at all of your work and you don't have to crane in any which way. Water is obviously a very important thing as well. It's really hard to remember to drink enough water. So I have this gigantic thing that I think is 40 ounces. I think it's like 1.5 liters, round about there. I just have a giant thing next to me at all times so I remember to drink your water, but please ensure that you've got that down pat as well. And you need to set boundaries as well. Obviously, it's really difficult and you guys have experienced it, so you're all experts at this now, but setting boundaries and creating break spaces and knowing when you're on and when you're off is something that's incredibly important. So I know that some people have a particular office space, some people don't have that luxury and have to work in amongst their house. So set up little indications, little signs. It could be a little lamp that you have that you turn on when you're working and you turn off when you're not. It could be music that is on only when you're working, so that you have kind of subconscious elements that are happening around you that tell you, yes, it's work time, now it's time to switch off. And then obviously, with us being who we are, we always think about lighting, audio, and cameras. So lighting your space is vitally important. Obviously, you've probably now heard about blue light. All of our screens give off a wavelength of light that really disrupts how we sleep. So when it gets towards the end of the day, some of your computers and things like that have these settings that start to change the output of those screens to be a little bit more orange, a little bit gentler on your eyes. So have a think about enabling one of those on your computer. But throughout the day as well and throughout the evening, make sure that you've got substantial light, that your body feels adjusted, that you're not kind of sitting in a cave all day, because that can become incredibly depressing very quickly. Audio-wise, this is a very bad example of it, but our room, if you hear me clap, it's super vibrant. There's not a lot that's grabbing onto those sound waves, so it's really echoey in this space. So whenever I have anybody on a video call, I like to make sure that I've got microphone right next to my ear, or right next to my mouth, so that I don't have to talk too loudly. I also do try and pad, so sometimes I'll bring in pillows and soft goods and things like that so that the space becomes a little less live. And then the last thing to think about is video. So we're living in video, we're living in virtual right now. You'll probably have cameras built into your laptops. Depending on your needs, depending on your profession, that might be more than enough. And I know that there was a shortage in the US for a little while of webcams and things like that, but I know that they're coming back on the market now. So if you need to invest, and again, this could be about ergonomics as well. If you need to stand up and instruct people, if you need to think about other aspects of how you work, it might make sense to have an external camera. It will probably give you better quality. And then you can play around with the positioning of that according to where your windows are, where your artificial light is. So play around with all those elements. Make sure that your space is set up so that you benefit. And that's the most important thing, making sure that you're the most comfortable in your space. If you guys have any other tips that we need to know about, please post them up in the chat sections. Let us know on social media. We'd love to know. Hope you enjoyed this V-Snack. This was working from home. Enjoy your afternoon. We'll chat soon.